everyone, happy holidays, it's Jason. Today I am with my dad here, and he's coming right here, and what we are going to make is a steak.
Is a steak. What kind of steak?
It's prime rib.
Prime rib. Yes. Happy holidays, everyone. Today, Jason and I are going to go through step by step exactly what you could need not to worry about, to do to make a fabulous holiday prime rib. All kinds of traditions people have in their homes for the holidays. A lot of people like to go out to eat. A lot of people like to stay home to eat. Everything from honey glazed ham to turkey, seafood, steak, tenderloin, pork loin, and prime rib. That's a big tradition in this house, is prime rib every year.
And this is just fun when they go out and have dinner and eat. And
right.
They just have fun for the holidays because it's like a vacation off.
Right.
And this is what we're going to do. And for this video, we have a brand new kind of salt, which is sea salt.
Yes, kosher sea salt. And what we're going to do, quickly now, we're going to go over a couple steps and a couple things for you to do and think about if you want to try making prime rib this year. And if you've never done so, because I think a lot of people don't maybe like to make prime rib at home because it might be a little overwhelming. It might be slightly intimidating.
Or a little overcooked if they don't pay attention.
If you don't pay attention, you can overcook it. But it's actually super easy to make.
And super simple and super actually fun.
A lot of fun.
And it's going to get messy.
And that's part of the fun.
That's fun because cooking is all about messy and having fun.
Exactly.
And then when you're done cooking it, you like to eat it and just taste it and see how well it is.
Right.
So that's just having fun about cooking.
Exactly. And what makes prime rib easy and fun is...
Simple?
It's simple because you season it, and then what do you do to it?
And then you cook it in the oven, because the grill also works too, but that's not...
That's a little different. It does work, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to cook our prime rib in the oven. And let me go over with you folks, real quick, exactly how to time it so it comes out perfectly the way you want. First of all, you need to preheat your oven, and that takes a little while.
And and you need your pre-oven...
Preheat the oven to 500 degrees
Fahrenheit.
500 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, 500 degrees. And we're going to cook it at 500 degrees depending on the size of the rib for so many minutes. The easiest thing to remember, the simplest math to do, is you want to figure about 8 ounces or a half a pound per person that you're serving. Once you have that down and how big your prime rib is going to be, 5 minutes times however many pounds you've got. So we have a 2.5 pounder because it's really just going to be Mama and I and maybe his sister eating some of this prime rib. So we got a smaller one. And we're going to do 5 minutes times 2.5 pounds is 12.5 minutes at 500 degrees.
So
after that, hang on, one more thing. After that, we're going to lower the oven to 300, 325, and we're going to cook it for about 12 additional minutes per pound. And that will produce a perfectly done, medium rare prime rib. So here's what we're going to do in order to season our prime rib. Again, very easy to do. First and foremost, this has been sitting out. It's been out for about an hour and a half to bring it up to room temperature, because ours wasn't extremely cold to begin with, so we left it out for a while. But you want to leave it out so it comes to room temp. Don't cook meat, especially a prime rib, directly out of the fridge and right into the oven. Doesn't cook right. Nice, even cook starts with room temperature.
Because if you just get a fridge and just warm up the oven, and when it's ready, you get it out of the fridge and just put it in the oven, it won't cook very well because it looks like a goldish orange.
Yeah, it gets like a brownish color on the outside, and then it's not cooked right in the middle.
And yeah, it's like yucky.
Yucky, we don't like that. So all we need is a baking sheet, and we are going to, here, what is this again?
Sea salt.
sea salt. We're just going to lay out some kosher sea salt on the sheet.
One more thing about this. What you want to do is like, you gotta like spread it out, or else, because if you make it all together, it won't like get, because if you like just put it in the fridge and put it in the oven, it will just get too yucky in the middle and too greasy, and you just don't want too greasy because it's like too greasy, and greasy's not good for your body.
All right. So some kosher sea salt, not even a set amount. Just I want to put some down on the sheet pan, and we are going to take a few sprigs of rosemary. Smell. What do you think? Yes, some rosemary, some fresh thyme, rosemary and thyme, and then I've got here 3 cloves of fresh garlic. I'm going to pop those a little bit, right? Give them a good smacking. And we are going to...
You just don't want to... You just want to give them a good smack.
Did you see that? So we've got some garlic,
give them a good
rosemary, and thyme. And I'm going to take the roast, fat side up, and place it right down on top of the herbs and the garlic. That's all going to cook from the bottom, cook up. So nice. Then we're going to cover the top and the sides with a rub. And depending on what recipe you look up, salt, pepper is all some people put. Some people melt butter and mix it with a bunch of different herbs, which seems to be kind of a lot. So we're going to take our rub. What's in there?
Onion powder.
Onion powder.
Garlic powder.
Garlic powder.
Kosher salt.
Kosher salt.
And pepper.
Ground black pepper.
Salt.
We said garlic powder, onion powder, ground black pepper, kosher salt, some paprika, some chili powder, and believe it or not, about 1.5 teaspoons of brown sugar.
And guess what?
All of those are equal parts, so about 1 teaspoon, depending on the size of your roast, 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon of each. And then on top of that, we added, just for a little bit of sweetness to finish, some brown sugar, so about 1.5 teaspoons. And we're going to cover...
Fact about chili powder and...
Okay, you tell them a fact while I start covering this.
Chili powder and paprika. Chili powder and paprika are like, they look the same.
They do look similar, very similar. But do they taste the same?
No.
No. All right, here, come on. You want to help me with this? Get that all over the top. And here, watch. Put some in your hand like this and rub the sides. You rub that side, I'll rub this side. You want to cover your rib.
You want to cover
in your rub, whatever it is you're using. If it's just salt and pepper, then cover it in salt and pepper. If you have mixed a rub, put it all over. Back to. This is going to make such a beautiful crust.
Dada, I can't do this.
Here you go. Give me your hand. Get in there. Get messy. That's the fun of cooking, right?
Like this?
Yes, it's perfect. Get some on both sides. I got my side, back and top. How's your side? Perfect. That is beautiful. Now, we are going to go ahead and put this in the oven. For how long again, Jason? Do you remember?
For 2 hours.
No. We are going to put this in the oven for exactly 13 minutes at 500 degrees. 2.5 minutes times 2.5 pounds. 2.5 pounds times 5 minutes per pound
equals 13.
Well, it equals 12.5, but we're going to go up to 13. And then when that's done, we're going to lower the temperature down to 300, 325, and we're going to let it go for an additional 30 minutes. 350 is too high. We're going to go lower so it cooks nice and slow. It's going to come out great. Okay, come here. Check this out. So, look at that.
A beauty.
A beauty. Yeah, not done yet. Just getting started. We are going to lower this temperature to 325.
Actually, can I do it?
Okay, set that down to 325. This is always a good time just to get a reading. After you've done your 500.
Start?
Yes, yes. After you've done your however many minutes per pound at 500, it's always good to take a nice temp just to see where you are.
I think I pressed start twice.
That's perfect. You did great.
That means 625.
No, it's not going to go twice, I promise. All right, so we've got a good start here. So this thing is going to go back in the oven, and it's going to stay in at 325 now.
She's a beauty.
She's a beauty. 12 minutes per pound at 325. We're going for medium rare prime rib is 135 degrees. We want to take it out of the oven at 130. That way it could sit and rest and slowly come up to that 135 mark before we cut into it. So we're going to take it out at about 130 degrees, so in about 25 more minutes. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Jason, that's it. Cooking prime rib is that easy. The most important thing to think about is paying very close attention to the type of beef that you get. You want to make sure that you spend some time, attention with whoever it is you're dealing with, whether it be the local butcher, but you really want to pay attention to the quality of the meat that you're getting, and then do your math to make sure you get your timing and your temperatures correct. And that's all. We're going to set this out, cut it, and serve it. It's going to be gorgeous. And everybody loves it. It's a show-stopping piece on beautiful looking prime rib. And that's all. So let's set the timer and wait for a little while. Perfect.
What was it?
We got up to exactly
122.
129.
129.
Yes. We're going to let it sit for a few minutes. Watch this.
Okay, everyone, this is a beauty.
This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at how beautiful this prime rib came out. How simple was that? We put it in the oven, we seasoned it, we put it in at 500 degrees. For how long was it in there for 500 again? Do you remember?
25.
13 minutes. 13 minutes. We
put
did
it at 325 for 45 minutes actually.
About 45 minutes, yeah. We did 500 degrees for 5 minutes per pound. So for this one, we did it for about 13 minutes because we have about a 2.5 pound prime rib. And then we lowered the temperature to 325 and put it back in the oven. An important thing to say, temperatures vary depending on the size, depending on the way it's cut, depending on how cold it was, how chilled it was when it went into the oven. As close to room temperature as possible is what you're after. But the temperature and time, it varies on how long it's going to take. Ours ended up taking, at 325, it ended up taking about 15 minutes per pound at 2.5 pounds. So it took a little longer than we had originally anticipated to get up to 130 degrees. But when it comes to serving something like this for the holidays, this is all you need. The presentation of prime rib speaks for itself just sitting here alone. Huh? Isn't it fantastic? You want to see me cut in? Let's take a look and see what the inside looks like.
Can I cut?
Here we go. Let's see how good it looks. It is definitely hot. Whoa, it's gorgeous. How beautiful is that?
Look at the juice coming out.
Look at that. Oh man, I cannot wait to eat that.
Fact about steaks. Whenever the steam's coming out like very, very hot and nice and feels warm, that means it's like fully cooked.
And that is it, everyone. It is that simple to make prime rib. We had all kinds of time in between to do whatever we wanted to do. And all you have to do is just pay attention, watch your oven, watch your temperature, temp it throughout, If you want medium rare, remember 135 for medium rare. So pull it out a little early. Pull it out around 130 degrees. That way it has a few minutes to come up to temp. And that's all. Make sure if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Share it with everyone you know.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.